All right, mic check, mic check. What up, people? It's been a minute. Man. What's up, everybody in the chat? Welcome to an impromptu live stream. I knew that Brad Holmes was going live today. I just didn't know what time. And we here, man. Shout out to the new member in the building. We got Big Dog with 2 G's. What up, though? What's up, man? Appreciate the membership. What's going on? We got Bonzilla. We got Studios in the building. Just ate me some almonds. My bad. Donkey Kong, fresh and fly. What's up, nephew? What up? I didn't even know I was doing this. What's up, Lions Live Wire? What's good with you? D Money in the building. What's up, Carmo? What's up? Listen, yes, I will be making a video about Jonathan Allen because we make a video about everybody. But Brad Holmes, man, getting in front of the media today. Shout out to Detroit Sports Podcast. Those guys are down there. The media got to go down early. First workouts are Thursday. So I will be going to the combine day one, which is defensive linemen and linebackers. So we're going to be taking a look. Got my orange juice. What up, Aaron? What's up, Master Chief? What up? Hey, at least this one is centered. That's my bad. I didn't even see the center button on there. Donkey Kong says, spit it out. What's up? Muncho Mango says, yo, did you know if you wear glasses, you a freak? What up, Raw Detroit? What up? I saw that, bro. Gronk contemplating coming out of retirement. Like, what are we doing? It's been, 4 years? Didn't he retire after they won the Super Bowl? That's crazy. Big Dog says, what it do? Enjoy the content. I appreciate that. What's up, Mr. Robot? So how y'all been, man? What up, Shift God? What's going on, Brian? How y'all been, man? I've been good, bro. Like, chilling. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I go through these moments, bro. Like, at least the Pistons are doing well, right? Feels good that I'm getting all these notifications about the Pistons. I'm like, yo, man, let me see if I should watch the Pistons. A game every other day, man. That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? But I've been okay. Kind of in and out. Sometimes I'll be super happy. Sometimes I'll be super sad. I'm hearing that the I don't know, man, the Jared Goff chants have died down, right? Maybe that was a one-hit wonder. Maybe that's what happens when you have 4 turnovers in a game. I don't know, man. I go through moments of like super highs and super lows when it comes to this team. What's up? JB says the word for today is pass rush. Zach says, so when's these Lions Syndicate hoodies coming out? Okay. So here, the thing about this is this one was, I found a company and it came across like on a website. Like I was on Facebook and I was like, let me check this company out. So I look at the company and I get this whole thing designed. But I'm talking to one of my fellas about his like using his website, right? So anyway, it is 1:00, but the Detroit Lions are super late. So I don't know. To answer your question, I don't know. We got to do some quality checks. We got to get the price right. I'm not trying to make a giant profit, but I would like to sell them at a decent price and be able to invest because money from this stuff will be investing. What I would like to do is buy a bunch of my own product and ship them out myself. That's what I would like to do. Like give you a specialized card and everything like that. The word for the draft is pass rush. Did y'all hear that Abdul Carter is not going to work out at the combine? Did you also hear that only 8 to 10 players will be invited to the NFL draft? That's insane. 8. Is it because this draft class is so whack? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Lions have 8 picks. I bet we draft under 6. What's your over-under how many players we actually draft? Studios, that's a real good one. I don't know, man. I don't know because it depends on if we trade for anybody. Speaking of trade, like I said, Jonathan Allen, man, he wants out of, which is crazy. I wonder, does he want to get paid? I mean, you just went to the NFC Championship game, right? So what do you think? Why do you think Jonathan Allen wants out of Washington? Derek, I could low-key see us getting Khalil Mack. I think Myles Garrett stuff is not happening. You know what? That's who I see as well. I mean, look, 30 other teams are going to be fighting for Myles Garrett along with us. He's hurt. I know he only played 8 games. Is that why? Would you take Travis if he was available later in the draft? Travis who, Daniel? Jonathan Allen is a dog. Remember last offseason? No, it was last trade deadline, not the one in 2024, but the one in 2023. When he was talking about when they was doing all that losing. Because don't forget, Washington had the second pick in the draft just a year earlier, right? So I wonder why he wants to go. Oh, Travis Hunter. Nah, I don't think we need Travis. I think they got him playing defensive back, and I don't think we need Travis. I mean, and you draft BPA, blah, blah, blah. I get it. I think we could, if Brad, at this point, y'all, we need some pass rushers. That whatever Brad has to do to get him. Jonathan Allen cap hit is like $21 million. That's crazy. But he has no guaranteed money though, John. So I don't know, man. English, what's up? Busy Bees says, English Lion here. What are the chances of trading up, or is it more likely we trade down? You know what, bro? Shout out for you for repping over there, man. Appreciate you. What's up, E? So Eric, before we get to you, Busy, I got to reach out to the Pistons dude. If the Pistons dude either has changed his mind, it's been a minute. We were supposed to start back in November. It's almost March. Then I'll be reaching out to you, man. All right. So to answer your question, Brad, you never know. You never know what he's going to do. He traded up for Terrion, right? He traded back and we took Jameer. So I don't know what we're going to do. I have no clue. What about Jack's? I think Jack is kind of slow, bro. I don't know. I think Jack is kind of slow. What's up? Austin says, did you hear the Andrew Berry tweet right now saying they don't want to move on from Miles Morning to reporters? Austin, no, I didn't hear that. And second, he's been saying that for months now, like literally, but he's not going to have a choice. I don't think Miles plays for the Cleveland Browns ever again. He said, I don't think he plays. So if he wants to completely ruin that relationship, look, Andrew Dolo, he will be traded. He will be traded. If Miles would have an injury, we would trade for him 100%. I'll give up 3 first-round picks for Miles. What's up, Fred? For Myles Garrett. I don't know if I give up 3, bro. I give up 2. If I'm Brad, I would try to finesse. I would try to have them take next year's first and the year after that. But how y'all feeling about this season? How y'all feeling about this? Like, how you feeling about this upcoming season? I feel like the hype is not there. I feel like I don't know. I feel like the way we ended the season before, because now last season means back in January. I feel like the way we ended the season, it was like in 2023, you had excitement for 2024. 2024, we were a disappointment, right? Even though we had all them injuries, we were still a disappointment. How y'all feeling about the season? And Brad Holmes, bro, I bet you it's 108. I guarantee you he's going to already be talking. The Lions going to go live. He going to already be talking. Dolo says, I'm not giving up 3s. I'm not either. One says drained. Yeah. I think we wait and see. I think the Lions will bring back Quandre Diggs to be safety 3 or 4. Oh, there you go. Cool. He's on. Finally.
Good to be back.
It's only coming out of one ear.
I'm back in Indy. Obviously, you know.
Come on, y'all. At least it's crispy.
It's a college draft event, but a lot of free agency prep is continuing.
Is it just me or
here?
Hold on. Is it just me or is it coming out of just one ear? I can only hear it out of the left. Come on, NFL Network. You got to fix that, bro. Let me know it ain't just me.
The work's already been done, so you know, looking on to get started year 5. A lot of work's already been done, just like I said, but excited to continue on. Questions?
In 2023, it seemed like you were looking for offensive weapons. 2024 was about fixing the secondary.
Yeah.
Do you find it easy to kind of compartmentalize on positions and maybe forget about other ones? Or, how do you?
Yeah, you know, so last year with the secondary, I think I said it after the draft that, you know, we have been looking to add future in youth at the corner position for really since we have been there. And it just never lined up. We just, we're not a needs-based drafting team. We just, get.
All right. So we knew that already. I'm going to be stopping this periodically based on what he says because I don't want to get a copyright strike or anything like that. Lions are finicky sometimes with that stuff. Or whoever represents them. We've always known that Brad Holmes is not a need-based draft team. And let me know, I can only hear it out of my left ear. I don't understand if you're in a place where it's multiple people around, invest in some quality mics. Like quality mics, bro. I know it's noisy, but quality mics. If they're not, we know that they're not drafting for need, right? But how much do you draft BPA, right? Especially if you need somebody at that team, at that position. So anyway, I'm gonna be stopping it periodically. That's the whole point of this.
The best football player for us, so we don't really get too fixated on positions, but I will say that one, it just kind of lined up perfectly because of what we went through during that previous season where we got so low on secondary depth that it just happened to line up that, okay, these are players that we really, really like, just football players we really like, and just happen to be, we happen to be able to double up at the corner position. So it just lined up that way, but we never really get too fixated on just like it's a certain position. I think I made it pretty clear that, the trenches are always going to be a priority. For us, I just think that's where the game is won. Dan and I are aligned on that, and you just can never really have enough of those guys. But it's probably a long-winded answer, but hopefully that gives you, yeah. Yeah.
Dog, you can't hear nothing. You can't hear nothing. I had to press my left ear. I'm glad I got on headphones. If you can't hear the question, I think that was Dave Burkett. He's a local Detroit Lions beat writer. And he's asking about, bro, I cannot spell this morning. There we go. Good thing, wait, hold on. Y'all, good thing y'all can't see that because it is. He's asking about the trenches and how aggressive Brad Holmes will be in free agency and the draft to fortify the trenches. And I don't know, y'all. I kind of feel, I don't know if I buy that answer. Y'all think, do you really think that Brad Holmes, let me cut back to me real quick. Does it really sound like that? Do you really think Brad Holmes has been aggressive with the trenches? I don't buy that at all, bro. Like, listen, it's time to keep it $150. We should have been celebrating a Super Bowl parade. Like, I'm going to be relentless this year. We should have been celebrating a Super Bowl parade. The excuse that we had was 20-some people injured. We should have been celebrating a Super Bowl parade. And even with those injuries, I think if we had a D-line, we would have won. That's it. If we had even with those injuries, if we had a quality D-line, we would have won. D-line is the key to a defense. So Brad is going to answer the question from Dave Burkett about the aggressiveness in free agency. He didn't specifically say D-line. I think because of what Brad Holmes just responded, like, we're not fixated on one position. I don't know, bro. Like, he's really starting. I like this guy, but he's starting to annoy me. He is becoming the Lions Syndicate of YouTube. Y'all can't stand me. I am starting to feel that way. Like, all of this is getting. Howie Roseman is a Super Bowl champion. Les Snead is a Super Bowl champion. We still wait. I'm tired of all. Like, I'm getting fed up. Real talk.
No, it's a good question because there are a lot of decisions that we have to make because we're at the juncture with our roster right now that we have identified a lot of young core pieces that we want to keep around, and unfortunately that's the tough part is that you got to make decisions on other players, contractually that you might not be able to keep that you want to keep. So it's not more so due to you don't want to have the players anymore, but you just can't have everybody. I really kind of looked at it just at the start of this year that okay, yeah,
Dog.
We had the
That's not me.
first round pick in 21 that we already, basically rewarded already. But, 22 we had 2 1s, in 23 we had 2 1s. Well, in 23 we had 2 2s that year too that we had graded as first round picks. So that's like 7 first round picks in total that all players that we like them, but then you start adding on the other non first round picks of the the St. Browns, that already got rewarded. You got a Kirby Joseph that was a third. You know what I mean? So that stuff starts adding up, and you got to make some tough decisions. We've already started a lot of that work already in terms of the preparation and planning, forecasting, because whatever you do this year is going to impact financially the next year after as well. So it's a lot of work to be done on that front.
All right, so let me address real quick what somebody said. Bill says Brad could be trolling to keep other teams from picking up players he actually looking at too. Play chess, not checkers. Bill, I feel you, and I respect that, and I agree with that as well. But Brad Holmes is playing at checkers from the back of the cereal box with his D-line. Like, you remember the checkers when you used to flip the cereal box over and it would be a little plastic baggie in the cereal. You open them up, and there's some real plastic raggedy checker pieces. That's what he doing. Like, so what I heard from this breakdown, and that's what we probably going to do is break down every time he responds. He's talking about first-round picks. Now, he mentioned that we have essentially 7 first-round picks, players that were graded as first-round picks. They had Sam Laporta, and they had Brian Branch graded as first-round picks, but they failed to the second round. And that those players and beyond, the good players, have to be rewarded. And they've rewarded some, Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown. So this guy is an enigma for sure. And I like that about Brad Holmes. I do. I don't want him to be super transparent. But I don't know, man. Like, I think what I want to see, he's only been here 4 years. I've been here for 40. You feel what I'm saying? So, like, you want to think they understand how we feel, but I don't think they do. Like, they have a job to do. This is our life, right? So, I don't know, man. He just so hard to peg. He's so hard to peg, and I don't know.
What's that? No, it doesn't. I mean, obviously the free agency component, because we have so much that's upcoming, I don't really foresee us being, I don't know what the line is of big free agency.
Dog.
I know that you guys have questioned me in the past about how much, what is a big spender in free agency? Well, a $6 million guy, $8 million, $10 million, $12 million, that's not pocket change, which we've done that in the past. So I don't know if that's the 15 to 20. I don't know what that number is, but obviously, it does put a limit to how much you can actually spend externally in free agency when you're trying to keep your guys that, because what you want to do is you want to keep the known good players, and you don't want to compromise them to overspend.
There we go.
Unknowns.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Way to bring it back in stereo, people. Whoever is responsible for the sound. Brad Holmes, we ain't spending no money. Hey, Marcus Davenport, welcome back. Marcus Davenport, welcome back. We ain't trading for Myles Garrett. Am I going to make a video about it? Absolutely. I'm going to make a video about it till he get traded. We're not trading for Myles Garrett. This guy, Brad Holmes, will continue to spend at the bargain. And you said that $8 million wasn't pocket change. Let me remind you, Brad, that you gave Marcus Davenport 6.3. Brad Holmes is like the uncle that don't spend no money. He's spending on the guys that he picked, but he won't spend it elsewhere. So Josh Sweat, goodbye. But you know who gonna pop up? Broderick Martin. Broderick Martin is a steal. I can't, bro. Like, I mean, you want to believe it, but you don't. Like, I'm in the business of making videos, so I'm gonna make videos about unrealistic stuff. Brad Holmes cannot part with a first-round pick. He just won't do it. He just will not do it. I was convinced last season he would. He just won't do it. Listen, bro, I'm trusting. Listen, Brad Holmes cannot miss on the 2025 NFL draft. He cannot miss. Expect a move like Joey Bosa. Khalil Mack right now would be the equivalent of Myles Garrett. I mean, zero confidence that he is still like a deer in headlights. Do you see what we need to fix? At least they fixed the sound. I spoke too soon. Okay, wait. Shout out to John Macron. This is John Macron asking a question. Let me go back a little bit. This is where we at. This is John Macron asking a question specifically about the D line.
Unknowns, you know. Well, why do you say one high end?
Okay, so first of all, Brad does not like speaking in front of people. I feel bad for him because he's nervous. He's super nervous. I don't know how many people he's in front of, but I can understand that. John Macron is asking about what do you say to the people that think you are one superstar pass rusher away from winning it all. And this is Brad Holmes' response, because I know you guys, unless you're wearing headphones, you cannot hear what they're saying.
I know, but why do you stop at one high-end edge rusher? Why not two or three? Or exactly. That's my point.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on, Brad. You being funny, dog?
Exactly.
Hold on.
That's my point. I know, but why do you stop at one high-end edge rusher? Why not two or three? Or exactly.
I don't know what he said.
That's my point. Is, look, yes, I mean, I'm asking that in seriousness, but also transparently letting you know, like, look, we're not just looking for one high-end rusher. Well, we have a high-end rusher now. We want to have another one, yes, but we'd like to have 3 or 4 high-end rushers, but that's just not always the reality of what you're able to do. So it's definitely not being ignored. Look, I want to say all the conversations that I have with GMs, throughout the year when we're bouncing off each other, what you need or what we need to improve our roster. I can't remember a time where pass rushers ever been omitted. I mean, that's what everybody wants that. So, it's not going to be ignored. I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's the one player away. I think I've been pretty clear about that part because that one player on top of everything else that you have, and what you're definitely is that one player is not going to get hurt. That one player is not going to get hurt. So, but say that one player does not get hurt. Well, what if you have the attrition that we suffered this past season, where now does that one player make as much of a difference with all the attrition that you're out? So you got to look at all those different components. But no, pass rush will never be ignored. It never has been. But it's just those guys are hard to acquire.
Okay, all right. Okay, D. Elliott, appreciate the support, my guy. Hold on. So you said Howie also drafted Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson. Okay, so while that is true, we are Super Bowl less, bro. And I think because of that, I think we're in a different stratosphere, right? Once you win, okay. So Dallas Cowboy fans are complaining, and we're going to address what he said. Dallas Cowboy fans are complaining. They got a few titles. They haven't won in 30 years. They're acting like the world is falling. Pittsburgh Steelers, 6 championships. 49ers, a whole bunch, right? For us to not have been, I think that's what sets us apart, right? So Reagor, you win a Super Bowl, you draft Jalen Reagor, right? You win another one. So you go miss. I'm not saying Brad hits all the time. I'm saying because I think, so I guess what I'm saying is this. We are in a stratosphere all alone. We're like, we're segregated. We are in a different spot than anybody else. There are 3 teams, and in my opinion, I don't think we're even in line with the Cleveland Browns. I don't think we're in line with the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Houston Texans. Those teams have been around. They've been around since the Dallas Cowboys won their last Super Bowl. We haven't been around. We've been around 3 times that. So I think for us, it's a little different, right? There are things that the Lions are the equivalent of going to somebody and they just had somebody pass away. What's the one thing you don't say? If somebody passes away and you go visit their family member, what's the one thing you don't say? I know how you feel. That's the one thing. You would be better off saying, I can't imagine what you're going through. saying I know how you feel, right? So I think the Lions, because of where we've been, or I should say where we haven't been, it's hard to, I think that the argument is a little different for us. Now, Brad Holmes, what he said here, that they've never not addressed the pass rush, it's never not being, so now that tells me that Brad Holmes is saying that Josh Paschal was addressing the pass rush, that Levi was addressing the pass rush, that Broderick Martin was addressing the pass rush, that, of course, Aiden, when a gift like that falls in your lap, you got to take him. That's saying that Marcus Davenport is addressing the pass rush. So now I see that outside of Hutch, to me, and I didn't know Brad was going to take him. I wasn't convinced that he was going to take him. I was not convinced that. I said that it would be a no-brainer, and the idea predict that they would take him, but I wasn't convinced. I was like, if Hutch falls to number 2, the Lions will take him. But this tells me that Brad, he thinks that he properly addressed the pass rush. And you see how he keep bringing up attrition. But shout out to John Macron though, because I'm gonna shoot him a DM later today and thank him for the question that he asked Brad Holmes, because that's exactly what I would have said. So we ain't doing. Wow, I'm very curious to know how this free agency. Don't be surprised if we re-sign Marcus Davenport. I'm dead serious. Don't be surprised if we sign Joey Bosa. Don't be surprised if, Brad Holmes is going to hold on to that first round pick, and he's not going to, yeah. Anyway, let's get back to it.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Can we get the man some tissue?
Yeah, look, I've always been kind of close to the vest about talking about strengths and weaknesses in the draft because it's very subjective. Some people might think, oh, yeah, this is strong. Some people might think, no, it's not as strong. But no, like this one here, me and Ray Adney were just kind of looking at the totality of just, it's a lot deeper than what we can remember, at least in the past couple years, and that's both inside and out for sure.
How do you balance the idea of, like, you talk about the attrition you had, how do you balance, like, the guys that were hurt and coming back with perceived needs?
Yeah, that's a really good question because, me and Dan are talking about it, like, when you're looking at, like, when you're trying to plan for free agency and, what you're trying to do, a lot of it is based on because of the injuries. Like, I was looking at our game versus Arizona, was at, like, week 3, and we're looking at a free agent on the offensive side of the ball, and that was really the first time that I had seen our defense at that time, and it was like, wow, I forgot how good it was. Not saying there was not room for improvement. Of course it is. It always is. But, it was humming pretty good, both run and pass. But, when that attrition and a lot of long-term injuries, stuff that can go on through the season. So, yeah, that does affect it. So it's kind of like, man, I wish it was something like we just ignored something but injuries are part of the game. Everybody's dealing with it, and but it does affect some things that you wish you didn't have to do, but you got to do what's best for the team.
Yo, okay. So I'm gonna tell you right now. Brad don't do bad on this D line. You ain't gonna hear the word Super Bowl come out of my mouth. If we win, we win. The brother just wow. So Brad Holmes says going into week 3, we had held the Rams to 20 points, right? We had let 40 points be scored on us, and we scored 41. He said, quote, our defense was humming after week 2. You know who got hurt in week 3? Davenport and Barnes. He said that's when it started, which means, so that tells you that Brad Holmes was okay with our defense. He was okay with it. And for a guy to not be making excuses, he sure sound like he making a whole bunch of them. Is it just me? Is it just me, or do I hear attrition? You think, Brad? That's why we should have traded for somebody in 2023. That's why you should have signed somebody in the 2023 offseason. And now we're getting to a point where, is it going to matter? If we don't do something with this D-line, we're not winning anything. We can be 17-0. It won't matter. Playoffs is one and done. I've said this before. You guys get mad at me because I just state the facts. Brad Holmes will run out of time. He will first run out of time with the fan base. Then he will run out of time with the organization. It's just the bottom line. You can imagine us. Imagine this. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch been to 2 Super Bowls together. The fans want them out. And the Niners have already won one. Meaning they have a history of winning a Super Bowl. They want them out. The management doesn't want. And this team has been to 2 Super Bowls under this regime. But Detroit Lions fans, we just glad to be here. That's where we at. We just glad to be here. Haven't we been here for 90 years, bro? Like, what are we doing? You know what I hear? Y'all? Mediocre. That's what I hear. That's what I hear. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Give me one word to describe what you hear so far, Brad Holmes saying. Mediocre. Excuses. One word, decent. All right, let's continue.
Hold on. Okay, I'm going to get to you and then go ahead. A quarterback? Yeah, I think it's case by case. When it comes to that position, you got to know the background and kind of what the history has been with.
I'm sorry. Why are you asking about whoever this is? And it ain't even whoever this is. Why are you asking about a quarterback? What are we doing? Why are you asking? Okay, I'm not even making fun of her. It's a woman, but it doesn't matter. If it was a man, I would have said the same thing. Why are you asking about a quarterback? What are we talking about? Jared Goff is the guy. Hendon Hooker is his backup right now. Why are we asking about a quarterback? That dude won't even see the field because Jared Goff is making $53 million this year. And he's making a whole bunch of money next year. I don't understand this.
Speaking of like a young quarterback or like a veteran?
Even Brad don't know the question.
Yeah, I think it's case like take for example, like when we were able to acquire Jared Goff, right? Like there's no question on his ability or him throwing the football or being anticipatory or mental or physical toughness or anything that way. He just went through a period in his career where he had some lumps and he was going through a tough time, and it was advantageous for both of us, us and the Rams, that we were able to acquire a player that was still young, that was still developing, and obviously has gotten a lot better. But so you look at that where, okay, he's got upside, we were never looking at, well, this is a guy that is at the end, but take case of like a Hendon Hooker that we drafted where, if you look at his trajectory or his past, kind of every step of the way, whether it was Virginia Tech, it wasn't an immediate, boom, he's on fire, he's the guy. Like, it took him a little while at Virginia. He got to Utah a little while, and I feel like he's kind of in a similar position now. So I think it's case by case, but you have to know the player, you have to know the situation that player's in, and you have to be convicted on the skill set as well.
A completely unnecessary question. Hey, Q-Ball, appreciate the 6 months. I was going to check. I check on the first of the month. Let me come back to me. I check on the first of the month to see members we've lost, members we've gained, and then I add to the list every once a month. I've got to order some new helmets and stuff, so email me your contact information if you want a helmet. You're mailing where you want it to go. I have to order them still. I also have to get some stuff with some for the 12-month people. I don't know, man. I'm not excited, but just kind of a side note to go along with what already is just a miserable day. Directly after this stream is over, I'm going to make a Myles Garrett video because this thing is going to get interesting. Coming from, shout out to my guy, Braylon, coming from Adam Schefter. Browns general manager Andrew Berry updating reporters today, and y'all told me this in the comment section, on any potential Myles Garrett trade, because this is about to get nasty. Our stance really has not changed. We're not interested in moving him. This thing is going to get nasty, and I'm going to talk about it. If I'm, just to kind of deviate from Brad a little bit, if I am Myles Garrett, I feel ultimately disrespected. I have asked you for a trade. I told you, you told me that you wanted to, you were going to show me how we were going to win. We obviously had that conversation. I was not satisfied, and you telling me you're not trading me, you're now you testing my manhood. That's what we talking about. I'm not saying you need to cower under me, but I've been here. You drafted me first overall because you sucked. That's one thing I can say about the Detroit Lions, that they allowed Matthew Stafford a way out. They didn't have to do that. They did not have to do that. So Myles Garrett, now this man to man now. Now I have said to you over and over, I went on Radio Row and I said it all week long. And you're going to tell me, quote, we're not interested in moving him. You are saying in so many words, I ain't doing nothing. It's going to get nasty, and we going to talk about it. Even though Brad ain't going to do nothing. Brad Holmes we ain't doing nothing. And y'all going to see it at the end. Just like y'all came at me last offseason. This guy, all he does is complain. Well, guess who at the crib? We all at the crib. Guess who was right? Me. Now, yeah, we got hurt and attrition. If you want to find those, if you want an excuse, you go. But see, as a Lions fan, I'm tired of excuses. Shout out to Antonio D. Shout out to you, bro. I will add your name when I update the memberships. I appreciate that, man. That happens on the first of the month. Appreciate you, Roy. This is a situation. And like I said to you guys before, I just say it. I believe that Brad can get it done, but sometimes you got to get out your own way. I see the good, but I also see the misses. Those misses, the good might have helped us get there, but the misses are going to keep us from the ultimate goal, right? Because ain't that what it's about? This is going to get old, ladies and gentlemen. You know why you haven't started complaining yet? Because it's new, it's fresh, it's exciting. Our former coach was Matt Patricia. Of course, Brad Holmes is a breath of fresh air. We haven't really had a general manager who makes decisions. We got Charles Rogers. We got Eric Ebron, bad decision makers. So I understand it. But the ultimate goal is to win the Super Bowl, not to come close. Right now, just get there. Let me get there. Now, instead of one of only 4 teams that never been to a Super Bowl, now it's only 3. And guess what? We're not in that mix anymore. That could have happened in 2023 if we traded for a pass rusher. Even if that pass rusher was Chase Young. I believe it. Anyway, I just, you know what? That's why I kind of step away, man. I don't make videos like I used to. First of all, it ain't much to talk about. Secondly, what am I excited for? For what?
I did say that he was going to be next, so I'm not trying to. I don't want to get to everybody. Go ahead. Yeah, that was. Look, I told Dan. Obviously, Dan doesn't have the time to go out on the road, but based on my experience in terms of coming up in the college draft space for so long, I mean, Tashard Choice, that's been a name that's held a lot of weight among college coaches. And obviously, he coached Jameer at Georgia Tech, which is huge, but he's one of those ones that, I would have never thought we would have been able to get, and we're just so glad that we're able to land him. So I think it's going to be huge. He's a fit, and not only Tashar, but all of our coaches that we have acquired. The numero uno is that he has to be a fit, and they're all fits. Obviously, they're great teachers. They're that passion to develop. They're great coaches, but they're fit. And so I just give Dan so much credit in terms of the patience that he displayed throughout this process. And when you lose 2 great coordinators like we did, and then other position coaches as well, to be able to add and replenish like we were able to, I thought that was just an incredible job by Dan. Yep. You know, it doesn't really change. It doesn't really change anything from a roster building standpoint.
All right, hold on. Fragrance, that's a lie. That's a lie, bro. And don't come in here with that. I've been cool this whole offseason. Don't come in here with that. Don't come in here with that question. I got the pass rusher I begged for. Zadarius Smith, stop it. Chase, come on, Chase Young, man. First of all, I said in 2023 when we had nobody. Can you name our pass rushers in 2023, bro? Can you name them? Outside of Aiden Hutchinson. Name them. And you tell me if Chase Young was better than any of those guys back in 2023. I got the pass rusher I wanted. You watch the channel. You know that ain't the case. Brad Holmes said he was forced to trade for a pass rusher, bro. Don't do this. Don't do this. I've been cool. I've been calm. I've been collected. But I will not be. That is not. I did not get the pass rusher I wanted. We took the only pass rusher we could get. I'm asking Brad Holmes to make a decision to bring an impactful player to our team when it's not a requirement necessarily. Now it is. It's been, though. When you miss on... See, here's the thing that I don't think y'all understand. When we drafted Josh Paschal, did you think he was going to be a game changer? I didn't. When we drafted Levi Onwuzurike, did you think he was going to be a game changer? I didn't. When we drafted Broderick Martin, did you think he was going to be a game changer? Maybe, because we traded up to get him. The pass rushers that I have asked for are immediate, impactful players. Not because we necessarily have to. Now but here's the thing though, we've been having to, and not just one, multiple. So no, that is not true. I make multiple videos about it. I have been the only one standing on this hill, and now everybody wants to join me. Y'all looking at me like I'm dumb. I was going to wear a clown suit if the Detroit Lions got a measly 28 sacks from the defensive line. And you know what they got? 27, bro. I got to keep my dignity because this team didn't do a darn thing. Come on, dog. Don't know. And this ain't just Fragrance. He been rocking with me for a minute. Changed his name. Why is this? Why are we talking about I got the pass rusher I wanted? Come on, man. And we still couldn't get nowhere.
You know, you want to add as many explosive players as you can, regardless of which position it is, but it just kind of adds more firepower. Look, you know, yeah, I'm sure people love to have two Jahmyr Gibbs, you know, if you could. There's not a lot of those type of players around there, though. But, yeah, you just want to add as many explosive players as you can. I think we have a lot of them, but that's not going to stop us from looking to continue to add more.
All right, so I'm not going to meet Brad Holmes because I don't have media access. I will be a regular person. I do got my little badge, though. You know what I'm saying? I'll be wearing this sweatshirt and a little badge I got, you know what I'm saying, and the hat that didn't turn out right. As far as Brad Holmes, all right, and I had to put my man Fire Marshal Beal in timeout. Okay, I have not said fire Brad Holmes. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Here's what I'm saying about Brad Holmes. I said that in 2 years, the fan base will start to, if you haven't already start to turn, you're going to turn. You're going to come out of this honeymoon period, this euphoria of him turning the team around. Then you're going to be like, well, if Brad Holmes makes a Super Bowl or wins a Super Bowl, he buys himself some time. The same way that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch have done. Going to the Super Bowl in 2023 bought them time. Going to the Super Bowl a few years before that bought them time. Brad Holmes will begin to run out of time first with the fan base because we have the least amount of patience, and then with the staff, with the upper management. When that time is going to be for Sheila, I don't know. For us, I give it 2 years. I give it 2 years. The excitement for 2025 is nowhere near 2024 because we were ahead of expectations. According to you guys. We were a year ahead, and then we get to that year, and then everybody gets hurt. We go 15-2. Nobody's talking about the injuries. We lose to the Washington Commanders in dramatic fashion. Not everybody was talking about the injuries. So I'm not saying to fire Brad Holmes. I don't think he should be fired. He's done a great job putting the team together from what it was. But when you get to the top, you got to be doing something other than winning. You got to be winning it all because it gets old very fast. And Detroit Lions fans, some of y'all are the most patient people I've ever seen in my life. Enjoy the process and trust the process. Eventually, ain't none of us gonna be here to watch it. And I don't know about y'all, and it's cool if you that type of fan. That ain't me, bruh. I'm the one before I die, dude. Maybe I'll chill out after that. I am that guy. I'm not the enjoy the ride guy. I understand you guys. I am the one before I die. Isn't this the first year that we don't feel like we necessarily got better? 3-13-1, we understood, right? We like, man, we sucked. 3-13-1. We went 3-3 on our last 6 games. We go into 2023. 2022. Hot mess, 1-6. Everybody got the psycho out. Turn it around. We not had a moment to go to the playoffs. We were put out the playoffs, and then we put out Aaron Rodgers. Excitement going into 2023. 2023 come. We matched up against the Kansas City Chiefs. We beat them. We go to the NFC Championship game, and we can't complete the job. 2024, super excited. Super Bowl is what they're saying. And maybe we get there if we don't get 20-some people hurt. But we did, and here we are. Now this is the biggest, I probably am speaking for 95% of the fan base. The excitement for 2023 into 2024, it is not like it was. It's not like it is this year. I don't think it's even remotely as high. We lost both our coordinators. We lost 7 coordinators and coaches in total. Jared Goff laid an egg, so now the fan base is trying to wobble on him. Brad, our star pass rusher gets hurt. And our defense sucks. And this is so I'm not saying he needs to be fired. What I'm saying is that the fan base will begin to turn in 2 years. It might take Sheila another 2 after that. By that time, Brad will be here for 8-10 years. So I'm not saying Mayhew and none of that stuff. I'm just telling you what I know. And what I know is that this fan base, as it should be, has 0 patience. None. And that's the way it should be. If you go 90 years and you've gone 59 and you've never been to a Super Bowl, you should have 0 patience. None. That's just the bottom line. Because in 59 years, everybody in this chat is dead. It's a fact. 59 years ago, Super Bowl 1, somebody was saying the Lions are going to get there. Come on, dog. I'm not trying to be a pessimist. I'm just trying to be a realist.
Does it matter what? Yep. To me, no, it does not. No, it's an explosive gain either way. So yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think it's even that's been me and Dan's vision from the get-go, just like you said, but I think it's even more clear and more evident now how important and critical it is. The attrition that we face, this past season, being that, we have the depth that we had and that we were so focused on. I want to say it was the Chicago game when we went up to Chicago. We had a lot of injuries, so it looked like on the surface that we had a lot of second backup level players on defense, but a lot of those players that we had playing for us, we had like starter level grades on them. So we felt pretty good, but we'll continue. It made it more evident that depth is a huge critical piece, and that's throughout the entire year. So it might not be first wave of free agency, it might not be the draft, it might be a Pat O'Connor during the summer that you add, and you just never know that that's going to be that critical piece that you need from a depth standpoint. Oh, T, man, he is obviously I'm probably a little biased. Obviously, he coached me in college, and I'm not just saying this because I've always been a fan of him. I do think he is, if not the best, one of the best defensive line coaches in the league, and he's such a master of fundamentals. He can teach it very, very well. He holds players accountable. His players gravitate towards him. His players listen to him. He just has this uncanny ability to really connect and relate to his players, and they really got a good one. I hated to lose him, but just as an opportunity that he couldn't really pass up. I was happy for him, but he's a special coach. He really is, and I think it's going to bode the Patriots well. Yeah, he just has to keep, continue to work on his fundamentals from a technique standpoint. He's wired right. He's got the right attitude. Again, he took some lumps early, had some aggressive penalties early year. Like I said, at the end of the season, I did think the water's kind of calmed, kind of halfway through. But and he's a very coachable player. He cares. He's passionate. He's prideful. So he's going to do the necessary things to continue making. He wants to be a great player. We want to be a great player. So I have no doubt that he's going to continue to develop. I thought Deshae did a great job with him, and I expect no different. But got a lot of excitement for Terry on. Yeah, it's it's like I told you guys, it's hard, man. It's not a lot of those guys available. Like, I say, so we lost a star pass rusher, right, due to injury, right? Well, just because you lose a star pass rusher, there's not but so many in the league anyways. And so just because we lost a star pass rusher due to injury, that doesn't mean that other teams are going to say, hey, we have a star pass rusher. I know you lost one, but we have one. Would you like to have this one? No, that's a star pass rusher for that team, and they're trying to win games. So, and it's not just a trade deadline. It's, free agency and during the year. Like, those guys are hard to find. That's why it's in position. But yeah, it's those guys are hard to acquire, and it's hard to keep them financially. Again, we have one that's due for an extension, and we've already kind of got into the planning stages about him already. And so when you talk about adding another one, it's like, oh, well, all right, can you financially add another one, because you want to add the other one on top of everything else that you have, and that makes it tough. Huh? Probably not. Yeah. All right, thanks. Yeah.
I have no clue. I have no clue what was said at the end. I have no clue. I mean, how are you? How you guys feel? Probably not. If that was a Myles Garrett question, how you guys feeling right now? Now, D. Elliott, I feel you, bro. And I'll say this, and I don't want to be where I put all the eggs on Brad Holmes. It takes two to tango. It does. Do I know if he tried to get, why is autoplay on? Do I know if he tried to get a decent pass rusher in free agency? I don't know. Historically, Brad Holmes doesn't do that. So, somebody asked me, the reporter asked, so you aren't getting Miles or Max? Hey, got him. Hey, we got, oh, no, wait a minute. I got to go back and see his face. I got to go back and see his reaction. Hey, shout out. How y'all get that information? Oh no. Hey, shout out to whoever. All right, hold on. Okay, it was 1840. I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna blow this up again, and Oh.
our pass rusher. I know you lost one, but we have one. Would you like to have this one? No,
Okay,
that's
Brad got jokes. Okay, Brad. I see you, Matthias. I see you, bro.
the star pass rush for that team, and they're trying to win games. So, and it's not just a trade deadline. It's, free agency and during the year. Like, those guys are hard to find. That's why it's in position. But yeah, it's those guys are hard to acquire, and it's hard to keep them financially. Again, we have one that's due for an extension, and we've already kind of got into the planning stages about him already. And so when you talk about adding another one, it's like, oh, well, all right, can you financially add another one, because you want to add the other one on top of everything else that you have, and that makes it tough. Huh? Probably not. Yeah.
Yep. Didn't seem very confident. And if that was the question, didn't seem very confident. And well, here's the thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna be here. It can't get no worse than Matt Patricia. I'm gonna be here as long as the passion stays. Right now, the passion stays. I might not tell you what you want to hear. I might not tell you the right thing. But as long as I have the passion, I'm gonna be around. And with that is going to come spicy hot takes. I am no more confident after watching him than I was heading into this press conference. The last point about having two pass rushers, you about to get one. Calvin says, what I got is that Brad understands business and you don't. Well, Calvin, let me pin your comment real quick, since you want to put it in all capital letters. What I understand is that if we don't make or win a Super Bowl, Brad won't have a job here very long. Anything else you want to add, bro? Because I'm in the business of critiquing the Detroit Lions from a fan. I'm going to be here after Brad ain't. What you got for me, bro? That's all you got? That's all you got, bro? The business of what? Winning championships? Is that where we at? Dog, you mad because I'm styling on you. You thought you actually said something to me? You thought that actually was going to get me? It got a reaction, but not the one you thought, right? Because Brad has one job to do. Win a Super Bowl, that is it. So he can understand business all he want to. But he better bring a title to this city. Young punk. What else you got, dog? I'll wait. Let Brad cook, right? Some spam? What we cooking, dog? What are we? Okay, let me put it in the comment section. Where y'all at? Are you just an enjoy the ride? Are you this dude? Are you tra la 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 ho 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 tra la 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 tra la 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 ba ba da 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 da. Are you that dude, or are you winning it all? What are we talking about, bro? I don't understand. It's cool if you're that guy. I am not. I am not that dude. It is time to win it all. Y'all don't understand. This ain't my job. My job ain't to run the Detroit Lions. He thought he was cooking. Brad says, come on, man. Brad doesn't ever say anything from a conference standpoint. You act like it's different. I'm tired of, listen, this is what I'm talking about. I would like to see some fire under my general manager about this D-line. That's what I would like to see. Because it will not matter at the end, bro. I hear what you're saying. He's not going to put all his cards on the table. But who felt good after 15-2 and we bounced at the crib? Who felt good? Last year, y'all trying to pick me up from the dirt as I'm saying we blew our opportunity. Y'all was like, we'll get them next year, Super Bowl bound. We'll do it next year. Next year comes, we obliterate it on injury. And I've been saying the same thing for 4 seasons. And it ain't no different. See, y'all, listen, I'm not blind by the wins. Winning doesn't blind me. You know why? Because until we win it all, it ain't nothing to talk about. Who cares? Like literally 15-2 did not matter. It did not matter. We had the first seed for the first time in franchise history, and we blew it. We literally wet the bed. You know what I want to know? I want to know what happens if we don't get injured. That's what I want to know. It's something that'll never be known. Now, what y'all gonna say? Oh, so D. Elliott says Jahad Campbell. Jahad Campbell he might go before we can pick. If Brad wants to trade up, then he can get him. I don't hate on spam. Hey, listen, I put some spam in. For the first time, I had spam 2 nights ago. I told my wife I wanted to try it. She picks up a 6-pack from Sam's Club. I'm like, I didn't say I wanted 6. So I fried one. I've never had spam. I instantly had heartburn. Okay, so somebody brought up Saquon Barkley. I will say, while you are correct about Saquon going to get Saquon is a running back. He's not going to require the same amount of money that an edge rusher would. So I understand that. I agree with the point is they took a risk. They took a risk and got a running back, the running back, 2nd overall pick, right? That's what you make happen. A Quick says, I felt terrible. Brad is not going to do anything. I told you that last year and the year before that. Bruce, you did, bro. And it was a pleasure meeting you. See, you from the old school, so you know. I think it's these new school cats that they don't know any better. Like my son wasn't even born for 08, the 08 season. He 15 now, right? You might have somebody that's 20. They was 5 year old. They was at 20. They was 3. Like, you probably have to appreciate 08. You probably need to be born in the 90s. You need to be at least 10. You had to be at least 10 in 2008. In 2007, when Calvin, were you there when Calvin? I know you were, Bruce, but who was there when we drafted Calvin Johnson? Who was there when we drafted Matthew Stafford? Who was there when John Kitna was our starting quarterback? Who was there? Roy Williams, Titus Young, Kevin Williams, John, what's his name? The Stewart guy, Kevin Stewart. I think we had 2 Kevins. Who was there? Right? We're not even going back to Barry, Chris, Herman, Johnny Morton, Brett Perriman, Luther Ellis, Robert Porcher. We're not going. We're going back to Ziggy Ansah, Cliff Averill. You know what I'm saying? Nick Fairley and Ndamukong Suh, right? Come on, man. Brad, good at building 3/4 of the way. He needs to jump off a little and reach for the goal line. Bill, that's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Because guess what? That goal line, the Lions will eventually. And here's what I want to let's shift the conversation. We'll be on for a little while longer. Because Thursday I'm not gonna go live, obviously, because I'll be at the combine. Let's shift to let's talk about Sheila. Because I got some thoughts on Sheila that I'm very interested in. Now, let me put it out there right now. I'm not saying that either Brad Holmes needs to be fired or that I want him to be fired. This is just something I've been thinking about. We bring up Martin Mayhew. We bring up Matt Millen. Matt Millen was William Clay doing. Martin Mayhew, I believe, was also William Clay. Martha takes over for a very short period of time. She didn't want to get rid of Jim Caldwell, but she did. She hired Matt Patricia. What we found out later is that Sheila was in the background prepping to take over. All right? So here's what I want to know about Sheila. Will Sheila do something? She's already done it, but will she do something else? Remember when the Lions started 1-6 in 2022? She came out, truly believed in who we had, right? In the regime, had the proper pieces in place. Literally from that Sunday on, Lions turned it around. They went 8-2. That was 2.5 seasons ago. Now we're heading into the 3rd season or the 4th season since that took place. Do you think that Sheila will get to a point where she brings in someone else? She pulls the Jim Caldwell for general managers. I specifically think that Dan Campbell is safe for right now. I truly do. Dan Campbell has done his job. I think that Brad Holmes, you might have to start looking. Now, being very clear, I do not want the man fired. I'm not saying he needs to be fired. I'm saying, and I don't understand, and I guess this is the fandom that makes you guys this way. I'm stating something you already know, and that is the NFL stands for not for long. Why are we acting like we're brand new to this? Matt Patricia had less than 3 years and he was fired, but he should have never been a coach in the first place. So the question is, do you think Sheila Hemp will get to a point where what we're currently doing is not enough? Because I want to be clear, because people don't listen. If Brad Holmes makes a Super Bowl, he buys himself some time. I'm saying if we continue to fall short of the goal is to win a Super Bowl. At this point, we just happy to be there. So do you think that Sheila will do something her dad and her mom could not do? What's the Lions' strongest position? D-line, and it's not even close. Motown, is that real? Nobody's plotting the GM demise. If that's what you got, Z, then I don't know what to tell you. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that. If the Lions don't make the playoffs in 2025, Bright Holmes is not going anywhere for at least 2 more seasons minimum. I agree. D. Elliott says, I think typically the coach is fired before the GM. Just look at the Bears. Okay, D. Elliott, so ask you, if you had in 2 years, if we don't make a Super Bowl, that's kind of hard to say, like, because you don't know if Dan did something dumb or, okay, typically you are correct. But we had a situation where our general manager was fired and our coach was retained, right? And I think that Dan Campbell could survive Brad Holmes. Because let me tell you something. Brad has, this is his time to shine. Dan Campbell, in my opinion, he shines. Even with the fourth down chances. Brad Holmes has to put, Dan Campbell makes these people, he's the one that gets them galvanized to play, right, and deliver. Brad has to deliver on his part too. And I know he played a part in assembling that team, but you have to be able to, I think Dan will survive Brad. That's just what I think. All right, so Vince says Super Bowl or bust, it's tough to fire a GM. Dan Campbell is the culture. You can't let him go. Dolo is my name. Okay. Brad could die and the culture will remain. We got to wait till next year. You cannot judge our last season and make judgments. It's not fair. We were down bad. Steven, nope. 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 No. We went 15-2 and we were down bad. Nope. NOPE. No. No. What do you think will happen if we don't make the playoffs next year? You think Brad will finally play for high-end players? Zach, that's a great question. I don't know. Sheila listens to Spielman. It's tough to fire back-to-back executive of the year, too. I see what y'all doing. Well, first of all, I didn't say this year. I'm saying 2 years from now. I'm saying, here's what I believe. In 2 years, the fan base will start to turn over. In 4 years, Sheila may. That'll be a total. I said that 15 minutes ago, bro. You're talking about 8 years for Brad Holmes. And because I want this stuff receipted. If he makes a Super Bowl, he bought himself some time. Do you know why Bill Belichick was the Patriots coach for 20 years? Because he delivered. Mike Tomlin has been the Steelers coach for 20 years because they're old school. Has Mike Tomlin, do y'all think Mike Tomlin, his 20-year career or whatever it's been, has been worthy? Do you? Here's what I don't understand. Help me understand if you can. You probably can't, but I want to know. What do we want from our team? Like, I'm asking, what do you want? Put it in the comment section. What do you want? Do you want you want to be the first seed? Do you want to, are you a enjoy the ride? Are you a tailgate? Are you a pay a bunch of money for season tickets? Are you a, what do you want from your football team? Because it's a matter of perspective. For me, I want to win it all. I don't care if we're the 7th seed and we win the Super Bowl. Nobody cares. But you know what does happen? If you're the 1st seed and you lose in your first game, everybody remembers that. If you win the Super Bowl, nobody care what seed you were. Fave says, just the Lombardi trophy. Derek, for real, I'm just about to my wits' end with Brad, beyond frustrated. Full State says, I want cheaper tickets. You set little goals to reach the ultimate goal. We have hit all the little goals, but now you go for the ultimate goal, a.k.a. do whatever is needed to win the Super Bowl. Sir Ken says, jury. If they don't win a Super Bowl on this contract, they can all go. Ooh. Who would you rather get, Garrett, Sweat, Crosby, or Mack? If I had a choice, it'd be Garrett. I want a healthy team for a Super Bowl victory. I seen that name. I'm like, I know it's someone I know. Oh, y'all talking, okay, or a combination of two of them. It's crazy how some people really don't see how wrong, see wrong in Brad. Retro, I think that's the fan. Okay, Motor City Maniac says Lions were 13-2 in just 2 years, 15, 12-5, and year 3, 15-2. And that's true. That all of that is true, bro. But okay. Y'all see progress. I see progress too. Like, there's no doubt about it. I want to win it all. And so here's my prediction. You guys ready? Here's my prediction. Now, I'm going to be very transparent because I have no problem. If the Lions regress in any way, you will start to hear the murmuring will begin this season. If the Lions regress means that they do not get past. Okay, regression means that they don't make the playoffs or they lose in the wild card round. That's regression. Lateral move is making the divisional game. Progression from last season or 2 seasons ago would mean going back to the NFC title game. If the Detroit Lions do lateral or below, you will start to hear murmuring from the fan base. If they make it to the NFC Championship game, you will still hear murmuring. It will be less of. Everyone, because of where we went in 2023, everyone expected Super Bowl in 2024. We weren't even close. And I believe that we weren't going to do anything to the Philadelphia Eagles. We would have wiped the floor with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, for this season, what are your expectations? Mine would be to win the playoff game. Is that enough for me? No. I am not talking Super Bowl until I see what he does with the D-line. And depending on what the D-line looks like, I'm not talking Super Bowl. I'm getting to the point now that the Lions are, I'm back to that show me what you got. Show me what you got. Am I going to watch? Yeah. I'm still on the season ticket holder list. I'm still on that. I'm going to stay on that. But you guys show me what you got. Because, see, I done bought into the hype before. And I understand. Nobody has faith in our D-line but Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. Nobody got faith in our D-line. Sai says, I missed something you did, bro. Let me check I don't know what it was. Let me see. Viewer activity. Sai with the dono. My bad, bro. If I miss a super chat, just remind me. Says, Grid has been pounding the table for an impactful pass rusher opposite of Hutch since his second year. Getting Z was cool, but that was force, not design. 100% facts. It really comes down to Joe Morton and Kevin Shepard. What's up, Lions? Can you break down what he said about the pass rush? Basically, nothing. It's not even worth repeating. Expectations are a Super Bowl appearance. If we can't get there, next year will be a failed unless we see injuries like we did last year. Oh, yeah, I like going 15-2 and only award we win is Fan of the Year. Dang, Bobby, I didn't even remember that, bro. Miles will show up once the Lions win it all. Of course they will. Bro, what are we are you the real Captain Obvious? Of course they will. That's what we're talking about. What is you talking about, bro? Miles will show. Of course they will. I mean, what is dog, I mean are you the actor in the Captain Obvious commercials? No, duh. Why do you think I'm talking like this? Because we ain't done nothing. Miles will show. You act like you said something, bro. I think Brad and Dan are tied at the hip. Our failures aren't for a lack of talent or inadequate coaching. Last year, aside from needing another elite pass rusher, was largely lost because of injury. Is it safe to say that Brad only solid free agent pickup pass rusher was Bruce Irvin? Got him. You can't force a team to trade someone to you. If you can cause Crosby or Gosby, Browns tell you to kick rocks. Guess what? You have to kick rocks. Philip? All right, so that is very true. But I want you to explain Marcus Davenport. I want to see something. Thank you, Mr. X. Sound like I'm saying some type of criminal mastermind. Hold on. All right. Sorry about that. I had to queue up this. So I need y'all to explain, and I done ruined the surprise. Okay, so it's not doing it. So I got to do it the old-fashioned way. And while y'all explaining Marcus Davenport, there we go. All right. Explain Marcus Davenport. Brad Holmes has had many opportunities to grab somebody decent in free agency. He always takes the path of least resistance. He always does. Look at the draft. Let's just, if we look at the draft, let's dissect this and we'll get off. How long we been on? We will get off in 8 minutes. Free agency. Year 1 to year 2, I'm going to give Brad Holmes a pass. He's been here 4 years. Year 1, hands was tied. He was working with scraps. I had no issues. Year 2, year 2, we still had Trey Flowers on our books. It wasn't until year 2 that we moved on from Trey Flowers. I didn't forget that because Trey Flowers was a pass rusher. I have not forgotten that. So I follow you. Now we're heading into 2023. 2023 to me was a massive missed opportunity. You can't tell me, if you told me, even going into 2024, I'm sorry, not 2023, 2024 was a missed opportunity. Andrew Van Ginkel, Jonathan Grenard, multiple people. When Chase Young makes your defensive line, Chase Young would improve your defensive line, that's an issue, wouldn't you say? I've seen how he plays. It's despicable. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't see if he can be saved, but he would make our defensive line better. That's pretty pathetic, right? In 2023, you know what? Nobody's put who our pass rushers were. I will look them up since nobody wants to put it in the comment section. 2023 Detroit Lions roster. All right. Pass rushers in 2023. We're going to go position. We got to go D-line. No, I said 2023. Now, I was like, these names is 2023 Detroit Lions roster. No. 2020. So they're not letting me change? Okay, so y'all going to make me go to Wikipedia? Is that what y'all going to make me do? Or Stats Muse? Stats Muse is what I'm going to have to use because Stats Muse is what I'm going to have to use. All righty then. Okay. Let's pull this in, shall we? All right. Shout out to Stats Muse since everybody else was acting ridiculous. 2023 defensive line. Tyson Alu. Remember him? He was 36 years old. Quentin Bohanna. Isaiah Buggs. John Kaminsky. Christian Covington. Charles Harris. Aiden Hutchinson. Bruce Irvin. Benito Jones. Zach Morton. Aleem McNeil. Broderick The Reach Martin. Romeo Okwara. Levi. Josh Pascal. Chris Smith. You know why you couldn't name anybody on our D-line? Because there was nobody to name. You had an opportunity to get anybody. So what free agent move did he make? What free agent? Oh, this guy here? What free agent move did he make? It looks like he signed a bunch of his people. Anybody on this team not named Aiden Hutchinson changes the game? 0 people. 0 people. Ladies and gentlemen, you had an opportunity to spruce your defensive line. Now, you traded for, or you took Jahmyr Gibbs and you took Jack Campbell. I can't get mad at the Jahmyr pick. Would I have taken Jack? Probably not. But they thought he was the BPA. While in free agency, you did nothing. Am I the only one that watches this team? Go back. Your homework assignment is to go to any website, and I want you to look at the defensive line from 2021 to 2022 to 2023 to 2024, and you tell me outside of Aiden Hutchinson and Aleem McNeil, I want you to look at free agency, who the Lions brought in, who the Lions drafted, and you tell me, outside of DJ Reader, who is on this team that has made an impact. You can't name nobody. You cannot name anybody. Do you know that for the past 2 years, Aleem McNeil has been under Hutch? Well, it was this year until Zadarius got 4 sacks. Aiden Hutchinson, number 1. Aleem McNeil, number 2. Alex Anzalone is usually number 3. Why? Because we can't get there with the front 4. Why? Because they're not capable of doing it. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, in the words of DJ Khaled, I appreciate you. You guys have a great day. More content coming out. Whether or not Brad Holmes does something about it or not, it's my job to talk about it, and I'm going to do just that. I have no extra, I feel worse after his press conference. Oh my God, bro. Dan Campbell getting on at 3:30? Is Dan Campbell getting on at 3:30 for real? Bobby Stark says, I'm tired of hearing about Eagles building through the draft, but the problem is how many of those players did Brad pass up on? Well, that means we got to get off. We got to get off. And should I get on for Dan? Where's the interview? Is it on the website? Should I get back on for Dan? Because I don't know if this is he at the podium. Brad, where is it at? Is it on the YouTube channel? I guess I was going to say that. Oh, yep, at 3:30. All right, y'all. Well, with that being said, man, listen, I appreciate each and every one of you. You know, it's all love. Ain't nobody going to keep it a buck like I am. And I will catch you in the next one. Enjoy, everybody. I'll see you in an hour. Marcus Davenport, come on down. You're the next contestant on Be a Detroit Lion.